Hi, I'm Tom Firstel. I'm not your professor. Your professor for this course will be Dr. Mark Ludio. I've had the pleasure of working on the design of this course with Dr. Ludio over the last several months. Your primary contact will be with Dr. Ludio, but don't be surprised if I pop up now and then to fix something that needs to be fixed. I've done as much as I can to comprehend your questions, but there's always something that I probably forgot or didn't think of. So please let Dr. Ludio know if you need assistance. From the instructional designers to institutional research, we've tried to build in the best practices of online learning into the course so that every instruction and assignment is as clear as possible. One thing is certain in all human communications, and that it is a kind of miracle that we understand each other at all. So let me tell you what I think you're in for. There are basically 6 major assignments in a final survey. The first is a quiz in which we ask you to take a moral foundations quiz to give a little input into your own ethical and moral frameworks and decision making, followed by an immediate focus on coming up with a research topic for your research project, followed by an annotated bibliography that will reflect the research sources that you're going to be using, and then a multimedia presentation on a wiki, which will force you to kind of think about your project in rhetorical context. In other words, who's your audience and what is the message that you want to convey? Followed by a more traditional form of an essay, a traditional essay that will include 2 drafts, a first draft and a final draft, and then the final survey of the course, in which we ask you to reflect a little bit on your experience and give us some feedback on your experience with the course itself. You'll be graded on participation, which will be mainly your work on the discussion boards and your engagement level on the wiki space. There will be 6 quizzes, which test your comprehension of the readings, and 12 discussion boards, which will be where the real work of the course will be done, in which you'll get to meet many of your other classmates online on the discussion boards. In a concentrated course like this one, you'll be asked to do these 2 discussion boards a week for the first 6 weeks. The discussion boards will require you to answer all or some of the questions that are included. Make sure you read the instructions for each week's discussion board very carefully. They begin by asking you questions about the readings assigned for each week, and then they begin to turn towards questions that ask you to begin to develop your own research project based upon an ethical dilemma that's often or typically faced in your own major or discipline. The research project is the primary goal of the course. You should use the weekly discussions and readings to form a base of traditional and classical ethical decision-making theory and practice in order for you to find your own values and translate them into a practical and comprehensive research project. Like most of the dialogues courses, of which this specific course qualifies as a level 400 dialogue, the questions that are asked are especially challenging because they often reflect some of our most essential beliefs about the value of our lives and those around us. I hope that you will reserve judgment, keep an open mind, take the reading seriously, and your whole perspective on life will change. Seriously, I hope that you enjoy the course. If you have technical issues, you should contact the IT help desk for any Blackboard-related item other than course content. You should use the water cooler discussion board to add questions or comments and to answer or respond to your classmates there. The discussion board is going to be the closest instrument we have to communicate with each other. In future versions of this course, we will probably add some more social content, but that will have to wait for another semester. Happy studies.